All right, I think I'm live. Hi, I'm Rachel Lynn, and I'm working on paying off my student loan debt and losing some weight along the way. And today I am talking about my October goals. I am pre-recording this. Actually, this is like my way of recording because I haven't been able to record anything. So, looks like there's some people here. So please go ahead and say hi in the chat. And so for those of you that are here, I am not going to be keeping this up. I think I'm going to take this down when I'm done and then edit it and then re-upload it maybe by like Saturday with just my goals and all that. So hello, Melody V. I don't know why I said Melody V. I have been talking all day. Okay. I subbed all day and then I just got back from choir practice. So, oh my gosh, I'm like worn out. But I just keep meaning to get this up and it's not going up. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do it live, just talk about my goals and how I'm doing and maybe even talk to you, interact with you in the chat if you're here. If nobody shows up, that's fine. This is just my way of recording and I'm going to re-upload later. I just haven't been getting stuff up. So I am going over my October goals, and that always seems weird for me to say. Like it's like I'm a month ahead, but I'm really talking about how I did in September, but then looking ahead into October and like, you know, making adjustments and all that stuff. So I guess I should probably just go ahead and go on and start. So if you do not already know oh man, I'm tired. Okay. All right. So this is what it's like when I actually film an actual video, just in case you ever wondered. All right. So I kind of did my intro. I'm going to keep going a little bit. So I am at a loss for words. Yeah, this is what it's like when I actually film in person. Okay. I am also here to give you tips, tricks, inspiration, and motivation along your debt-free or weight loss journeys. So if you are interested in any of that, go ahead and click that red subscribe button down below and join me on this journey. Let's see. I'm trying to get all the stuff in for an actual video here. Today I am talking about all of my goals, and I set all of these goals at the beginning of the year, and I like to do a monthly check-in just to see how I'm doing, see if I need to change any goals or adjust anything along the way, and there might be some adjustments going into October. I don't think I'm going to have my headphones. And I set goals in the areas of family, spiritual, social, intellectual, physical, financial, and I feel like I'm missing one. And career. Okay, let me go over those again. I set goals in the areas of family, career, spiritual, intellectual, social, physical, as in weight loss, and financial. Okay, I am going to have to go back and forth between the live stream and my actual goals notes, so bear with me on that. My family goal, I set that goal at the beginning of the year, and that was to spend more time with my family. With my mom being sick, that's really important to me. I feel like I have really accomplished this well in the month of September. I've been more intentional about eating meals with my family, and going into October, I'm going to be working a lot more. So I'm going to be a little bit more relaxed on this and just strive to eat with my family at least once a week, 2 if possible. It will most likely be way more than that. And then any night I'm not working at Keeneland and my parents are home, I would like to eat with my family, doing no work at the same time. So that means like not on my computer and not on my phone and all of that. Okay, let's see. For my career goals, I actually set 2 goals. One of them is a goal for here on YouTube, just because I don't really feel like it fits anywhere else. And as I am earning money on YouTube, it's sort of like a career, even though it's not really a career. So I am a teacher, if you don't already know, and I do not have a job right now. So I left my last school, and I am currently looking for a new teaching job. The jobs in this area are few and far between, even though the news keeps reporting that my county needs teachers. They need lots of teachers, but there are hardly any jobs posted. And so it has been a struggle to find a job. I have started working at Keeneland, which is a horse racing track, and this is something that I have always done since Keeneland since college, and Churchill Downs since I was 18, since I was of age. And so I am working at Keeneland this month, and then Churchill Downs is open next month, so I'll have that. And then I have been subbing a lot in a school near me, but it's actually a private school, because the public schools are really, really hard, not just to get a job in, but also like to sub into. Like, there's a lot of hoops to jump through, and right now I'm just waiting on one more background check. And then once that's in, then I can actually start subbing in the public schools, and I will make a ton more money in the public schools. If I subbed not even every single day in the public schools, I would make more money than I made at the private school that I was teaching at like the last couple of years. Although I don't get benefits as a sub, and I did get benefits and health insurance and all of that through my last school. So it's a huge difference. But that means that once I start subbing in the public schools, I might actually be able to readjust how I'm doing my budget and go back to kind of like a regular budget. It'll still be kind of like a bare bones budget, but I'm thinking I might actually be able to start making debt payments again once I start subbing in the public schools. And not only that, but they actually require you to sub at least 5 days a month in the public schools. And they said that you should not have any problem getting that many days or more. And I think I calculated out, I only need to sub like 8 days a month in order to meet my minimum requirements for what I need to live off of. So I think that's pretty awesome. So I am looking forward to subbing in the public schools once I get there. Just waiting on that one last background check. Checking my notes here. I apologize. I've been subbing pretty much at my dream school. It is a private school, but it's pretty much my dream school to sub at, or not to sub at, that I would want to teach at. And I've actually gotten a lot of really good feedback from the school and from other teachers and just everyone. And they seem really excited to have me there. And so this could lead to a job in the future if there's something that opens up. This school is a very close community, and I am somewhat a part of the community, but that's kind of hard to explain, but I'm not an actual teacher there, so they do know me, they know of me, so they're excited to have me. And then the fact that I'm already gaining a good reputation as a really good sub, and they're using me a lot. If something opens up, because they are a close community, there's not a lot of jobs that open up at this school very often. So if something opens up, hopefully it will lead to a job. But that's a big if. And I kind of I left my last school because I wanted to get into the public schools where I would make a lot more money. But at this point, it's kind of like I'd rather have a steady job. And, if I get a chance at being at my dream school, I will jump on that. Okay, I'm going to check the chat. Hello. Hi, Danny. How are you? Okay, so that is my school career goal. As for my YouTube goal, I can't even see my original goals. Let's see. I can't see the original goals. There we go. Okay, the initial goals. That initial goal was to start earning income from YouTube, which I have actually done. And in September, I got my first check since being remonetized. So yay! And that was, I think I've already done, yeah, my recap. So you should already know, I think it was like $117, somewhere around there, that I made. And I'm actually hoping that I can earn another check before the end of the year, which would be, last time it took me 4 months to get this one. So it would be like less time to get the next one, hopefully. And then I also kind of like up to my goal to reach 3,000 subscribers. I don't really think that that's going to happen, but never say never. So I just keep trying and just keep working hard. And it's been really hard restarting work and working 5 to 6 days a week. It's been really hard keeping up with YouTube. So that's why I'm doing this live, just to kind of, just to get me to do it, because I hadn't been doing my update yet. So that's why I'm doing this now. So as of the end of September, I have 1,230 subscribers. That's a growth of over 100 subscribers since the last check-in. That's amazing for me. And so I just thank you to everyone that is subscribed to me and watch and comment and like. And so, of course, if you haven't liked this video, go ahead and do that now. Thank you very much. And in September, I also, oh yeah, okay. Now I'm just going over stuff I've already talked about. My plan for October is to just keep doing what I'm doing and continue to improve as much as I can. My spiritual goal, that is one that I kind of keep to myself, but it wasn't really all that hard for me this last month, but I met that goal. And so it has to do with prayer, and I'm meeting that goal. So, okay. I'm going to keep going on to my social goal. That is to meet with, but that is to get together with at least one friend in the month. And that could be live, like together, or live, like the live stream. That could be together, or it could be over the phone, or it could be via like computer, like FaceTime or Skype or anything like that. So, okay, hold on, I'm checking my notes. So this month I met with tons of friends at FinCon in September, and I also started up a mastermind group, and so we've met a few times, and that is via Skype online. And I've also talked with some others. I went to a book discussion group at my church. So I was in a book club at my old school that I was teaching at, and when I left that school, then they had my email through my school email, and so like I'm kind of not a part of that book club anymore, because like I don't have their emails, because all of that got shut off, and they didn't have any personal emails of mine. So I guess I could text them and all of that, but like I don't know how I feel about rejoining that book club, because I'm not at that school anymore. So I mean, they were good friends, but now I don't know, like it just feels weird. But there is a book club group at my church. I was by far the youngest person there, for sure. But I noticed that they had read the book Where the Crawdads Sing, and I read that in April, and it was like, I want to talk about this book. And so I went to it, and so I plan on going to the next one, because the book that they read, the book that they're reading for October, I've already read. And then the book for October, they let me pick that book, and it's The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared. And like, it's a really, really great book, and hilarious. And so now I have to go to that one too, because I picked that book. So I have to lead the discussion on that one. So I've already read both of the next two books. So I'm like well ahead on going to that. So going into the future, I will be going to more book discussion groups. And I also went to a local festival with my friend Jenny. She's a high school friend of mine. And I also started choir in church and with my church. So wait, let me rephrase that. I also started going to choir and I also joined the choir at my church, and so I actually just got back from that, and so that's another like meeting with people. One of my blogging buddies does the breakdown of goals all the time. Yes, I love this because I can recap my goals and just like refocus on them each month rather than, you get to the end of the year and you think, okay, I made these New Year's resolutions and, oh, I forgot them like midway through January. Like, no, I want to like actually try to achieve my goals. Hold on just a minute. I got to let the dog in because I think everybody's going to bed and I think Lucy wants in the bed. So I'll be right back. Lucy? Come on. You ready to go to bed? Come on. Come on. Girl. I also got some water. Okay. So I am like being very social all over the place, so I'm not worried about that anymore. I mean, I meet weekly with my mastermind group, and I have a weekly choir meeting. I don't know if choir should count as social. I don't know. Probably not, because I mean, we don't like talk or anything. Like the book club, fine. Like we could kind of talk, even though it's mostly about the book, but there's still some social interaction. There's not a lot of social interaction at choir practice. And let me check my notes. I've already said all this. Okay, so because there's so much that I'm doing right now, I kind of feel like this goal is pretty much moot. But going forward, I'm going to change this goal and reach out to a friend each month that I haven't talked to or seen in at least 2 months. And this way I can reconnect with friends I should have talked to a while ago. I also was supposed to make a phone call months ago, and I still haven't done that. There's one particular friend that I want to call on the phone, and I just keep forgetting about it. I only remember like as I'm going to bed or when I'm at work or things like that. Like I don't remember when I actually have time to call. I think part of the hesitation, though, too, is that I know that when I call this friend, it's going to be a very long phone call because it always is. And, like, that's a wonderful thing. But it's like I have to have, like, a long period of time open to be able to talk to her. And so I just have not had that. Oops. I just skipped everything. Okay. Social. All right, my intellectual goal is to read at least one book a month. For the month of September, there were a lot of books. I listened to Nanny Returns. This is the sequel to the Nanny Diaries, which I read a long time ago, like in college, long before there was ever talk about a movie. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the book or the movie The Nanny Diaries. It was a book, and then it became a movie, and I read the book long before they even thought about making it a movie. Of course, the book's always better. It had Scarlett Johansson in it. I think that's the main character, that she played the main character. So Nanny Returns was a sequel to this, and I listened to it on the way to FinCon, actually. It was okay, but just something to listen to, really. And I also read The Nightingale. I read an actual physical book by Kristen Hanna, and this was so good. Oh my gosh. I really think that Kristen is trying to become my favorite author. And I think this is the third book this year that I have read or listened to by her. And when I finished The Nightingale, it was like definitely ugly crying. Like I hardly ever cry. And when I cry, it's like I get choked up. Like I do not cry, like cry. And I was like bawling, like literal tears running down my cheeks, which never happens. I was crying. And yeah, this book, it was just like, oh my gosh, a mess of a cry. But it was so, so, so good. And I also listened to The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared. This was actually pretty good. It was very humorous in a somewhat of a dark way, which I kind of liked. There's a sequel, which I've been listening to, but that counts in October because I started it in October, and it's not as good, but it's still okay. I don't know why I'm telling you about a book for October, but yeah, I've already read it, and there'll be more books for October because driving to and from Keeneland, I get a lot of listening time in because that's an hour drive one way. So yeah. And then I have books already planned for October. One, I am actually reading another Kristen Hanna book. This one's a little bit older. It's called something to do with home. Let me check the chat here. Okay. Feel free to say anything in the chat. Like I'm coming back and checking it from time to time. So if you have any comments or anything, I will be checking it. So once I finish this other book by Kristen Hanna, then I'm going to like make it more of a purpose, like to read I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit. I think it's Sethi. I think I pronounced it Sethi once, but I think it's Sethi. So I'm going to read. So I will read I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I'm going to read I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. And then I also have Flavors from Home, which is like a cookbook, but it's like stories of refugees and like recipes from their homeland that go with their stories that I bought a couple months ago, and I just haven't read it yet. So no more books from the library until those two books are read. So that's my plan on that. Yeah. So I'm hoping to get through all of that. And then I have another book on CD already to listen to once I finish the 100-Year-Old Man sequel book. So there'll be lots of books in October that I should be able to talk about. Let me check. Which book sounds like a good book? Carnival 30. Which book sounds like a good book? Because they're all really good. Oh my gosh, Kristen Hanna, like just the way that she can talk about war and relationships between sisters and mothers and daughters is just, it's amazing. She's just brilliant at that. So, but then the 100-Year-Old Man, it was funny. It was really good. The One of the Refugees, Reading and Recipes. Oh, yes. This was actually written by a, what do you call it when you go to the same high school with somebody? It's late. What do you call it when you go to the same high school with somebody? But she's like 10 years older than me, but she graduated from the same high school as I did. But our church is adopting a refugee, and so she actually worked or still works with refugees and in our state, and just she went to school for writing. I don't even know. But she wrote this book, and you can get it on Amazon. It's called Flavors from Home, and I think you can get it on Amazon if it's available. Here, let me get it, I'll show you. This is the book right here. Alma Mater. Yeah, that's where that's the school that we have the same alma mater. So yeah, you're close. I'm glad I'm not the only one that can't think this late at night. Okay, so that's kind of like on my list to read. Okay, going on to my next goal, that is my physical goal for weight loss. And so at the beginning of the year, oops, let me see here. At the beginning of the year, I wanted to lose 50 pounds, or actually it was more like 56 pounds in order to be under 200 pounds by the end of the year. And I wanted to do a 5K once a month, a 10K by the end of the year, exercise 5 times a week, beat my mileage that I walked or ran each month. And yeah, I started out at 256 pounds this year. So my weight as of September 30th was 242.9 pounds. And that is a gain of 4.8 pounds since last month, because last month I weighed 238.1. So this is no good. And I need more motivation. I think what I would like to do is my own version of Diet Bet. Okay, I'm saying this because I wrote this at the beginning of October, and now it's the middle of October, and so I'm gonna kind of read-ish. I'm gonna talk about what I originally planned, and then talk about how I'm not sure if that's gonna work. So I need more motivation. I think what I would like to do is my own version of Diet Bet. I don't want to risk my money there in Diet Bet right now, and I don't want it tied up in any bets because of my financial situation and not having a job. So what I think I will do instead is pay myself. For every pound I lose, I will pay myself $5 in cash. That's free money for me to spend. So I'll go to the bank, I'll make a withdrawal, and that will come from my weight loss category. Because I have kept the money in that category, even though I decided to stop doing 5Ks right now. So I have $50 in there, so I could lose up to 10 pounds and pull that out and it not really affect my budget. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And yeah, so $5 in cash for every pound that I lose. If I gain weight, I have to deposit $5 into the bank for each pound gained. I really need to focus on my eating habits this month, as well as exercise more regularly. I did better last month in September. I did better in September than in August, but I need to do more. I actually have my calendar. All right, so here, hold on, I gotta see what I'm doing. This is my September calendar, and I did a lot of walking and stuff at FinCon, and so that's why I was able to do so much here. And then I did okay for a couple of weeks, and then I dropped off. And for October, I have a little bit for October, but not much. So in September, I went 23.88 miles. And in August, I did horrible. I did 16.18 miles. So I did much better in September than I did in August. So I'm on the right track. But as far as how I've been doing so far in October, considering it's the middle of the month, I'm not doing very well. So I need to work on that. And you know what? I think maybe the money thing, I don't know. What do you all think about that? Hold on, let me see. I screwed up my weight loss this month. Started at 171 and now I'm at 173. We are all of our diet gain. Yeah. What do you think about paying myself or having to put my own cash back into the bank if I don't make my goal? I think I forgot that because the money to pull out of the bank was not very motivating for me, especially because I'm making tips right now at Keeneland, and it's kind of like, well, I'm making cash. Like, why do I need to pull money out of the bank? But I think I forgot that I would have to put money back in the bank. I think that's the key. I'm like, I don't want to put my money in the bank. I want to spend it on whatever I want to spend it on. So maybe this will work. Man, I got to think about putting money in the bank, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so maybe this will work. All right, let me keep going here. I need to do more. I need to complete 2 at-home 5Ks. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my gosh. So I've got just a couple weeks left in October. I need to do 2 5Ks at home. So like whether it's outside or on the treadmill. Yeah, I need to do that. Because I didn't do one in September. So I'm going to do 2 5Ks in October. Also, my left knee and right ankle have really been bothering me, which I often use as an excuse not to exercise. And also it was hot up until about 3 days ago. It was like really hot. It has cooled off a little bit, so that's better. And actually today my excuse was it's too cold. Also, my excuse today was I was way too busy because I subbed and then I had choir practice and then I had this, and so yeah, I didn't get any exercise in today. So I need to utilize the stationary bike my parents have when that's a problem. I'm not sure how that's going to affect my mileage. So it's either going to bump my mileage up way too much, or like I don't really know how to count the mileage on a bike compared to walking. So I think I will no longer really focus on mileage, just the number of days exercised. But I'm still going to write my mileage down just because I like it. I like seeing that number. And my exercise has to be 15 minutes to count instead of 30. Maybe having less to do at a time will be easier for me to accomplish, and then maybe even do more. So yeah, I really wish I had done this earlier in the month, like done this actual filming part earlier in the month to remind myself, because I kind of typed this up before the month of September was over, just to like go into the next month, kind of like how I planned my budget. So finding my light. Hi, you like that idea? Okay, yeah. I like, now that I'm reading through this, I'm thinking, yeah, this is a really good idea. Like all of this is great. But I was remembering the parts that like weren't that motivating for me. Like pulling money out of the bank's not that motivating for me when I have my wallet with money from tips. And I mean, eventually that money is going to run out. But it's kind of like, well, I don't want extra. Well, I do want extra money to spend, but I don't need extra money to spend. I don't feel like I do. But putting it back in the bank, I don't want to do that. And focusing less on the mileage, because I think that's been getting me down. Like, oh, I only went 20 miles this month. And, you know, a few months ago, I was going like 45 miles. And that's a huge difference. And that sometimes doing that can get you down. I was weighing myself every single day, and I stopped doing that completely. And then it was just kind of like for my goals update each month, the last like month or two, I weighed myself, and like seeing it go up, it's not fun. And so I think I need to start weighing myself at least once a week. Like, I don't know that I want to go back to every day, because not seeing it move at all can get depressing. And so I'm not sure, but I think I'm just going to go back to at least once a week, because once a month is not enough, because I don't think about it enough, and every day might be a little bit too much for me right now. I'm not sure. So at least once a week, and I'm going to try to update either on a Money Monday or a separate day. Like, I don't know if I can put together a whole another video. So I tried it in Money Monday this past week, and it seemed to do really well. So like, I won't go into a lot of detail on how I'm doing. Maybe I can do like a once a month video on how I'm doing more in detail, even more in detail than like this video. I can do like a more detailed like just about my weight loss, how my exercise has been going, and how, like, I don't know. If you guys think that's a good idea, just let me know. So you can leave a comment down below if you're not watching live. And if you are watching live right now, you can leave a comment in the chat. Let me know if like a once a month detailed video about how my weight loss is going is good. And then I will update weekly on just quickly update weekly, like at the end of Money Mondays. So update you how I'm spending and how my weight's going, just all in one. Okay. And finally, my financial goal was to pay $20,000 towards my debt this year. I started with approximately $50,000 in debt on my graduate student loans. This was after I paid off over $10,000 in December of last year, and then also went through rehabilitation, and some of the fees and stuff came off. So the beginning of this year, I started with $50,000. And my goal was to pay $20,000. Now, that wouldn't necessarily take my whole total down to $30,000 because of interest. Like, I'm not counting the interest. It's just I put $20,000 towards my debt, even though a big chunk of that would be interest. I hope that makes sense. But of course, everything. Oh, excuse me. But of course, everything is on pause right now because of not having a job. And so this month, I paid $110 towards my student loans. That's just my minimum payment. So this makes $8,100 so far put to debt this year. My goal this month is to earn at least $1,000 in side hustles so that I can add money to my savings for debt instead of taking it out. And actually, I actually kind of upped that goal to be $1,500 so that it covers everything that I spent in regards to FinCon. So my total FinCon expenses were about $1,500, and I wanted to make up all of that money by the end of October. So some of the money I earned was in September. So September and October together, I need to earn at least $1,500 to make up for FinCon. And then I also want to be able to put money back into savings this month instead of taking money out. This will easily be accomplished just because, like, I've already kind of met that goal. So working at Keeneland is it's been very, very helpful. So I've already gotten 1 or 2 checks from Keeneland, and I've gotten 1 check from subbing, and I get another check tomorrow from Keeneland. So, and that'll be like a over $400 check. So, it's a good amount of money. I think, at least I hope, that by November I will be subbing in the public schools and making good money there, and I will also be working at Churchill Downs in November. So I should be able to maybe put money again either into savings or start putting money back towards debt. Okay, hold on. Let me double check because I was going to, no, that's not where I wanted to go. Hold on a second. I was going to tell you how much I have in savings to put towards debt right now. That's in my budget though. Okay. When I load it up, like all of my sheets, because I have separate sheets for each month, all of my sheets come up all at once, and I don't want them to all come up at once. So right now I have over $4,000 to put towards debt in my like I have in savings to put towards debt, like strictly for that. It's not labeled for anything else. At the end of this month, I'm hoping that I can put, I don't know if I'll be able to put $1,000, but I'm hoping to put as close to $1,000 back in the bank to go towards debt, like just for that purpose. So as close to $1,000 as I can. So I'm hoping that maybe, like, I don't know that I'll be able to put $5,000. No, I should be able to put $5,000 towards that by the end of the year if I decide to empty my savings to go towards that. It's a lot of money, but it's not as much as I wish it was. So I'm trying to work hard on that, and I am just trying to make more money, I guess. And I'm looking forward to subbing more once I'm subbing in the public schools and making a lot of money, because I will make twice as much a day subbing in the public schools as I do in the private schools. And not only that, but the public schools also, they have incentive days. So they pay you extra on Mondays and Fridays, as well as if you work in like certain classrooms. If you work in, I think like special needs classrooms or preschool classrooms, they actually pay you extra. So I'm looking forward to making more money, hopefully. So that's really my goal on that, and then just put as much to debt as possible by the end of the year. If I feel stable enough in like my sub money, like if I can make enough to live off of and feel secure in living off of that, then I will start putting money towards debt again. So that's kind of what I'm going for. So those are all of my goals and how I'm doing, and like going into October and how, adjustments that I'm making. Now, I guess, I've been keeping up with the chat. There's not a whole lot in the chat, but I've been kind of keeping up with that. So if you want to say anything, if you have any questions for me regarding any of my goals or just anything, feel free to chat with me, and we can just kind of like talk if you want to. And yeah. Any ideas for motivation for weight loss? It's just hard. It's really hard. If nobody has anything, then I'll just kind of like sign off and say goodnight and do my little closing thing, and you can see Lucy. She's right here. What? Come here and say hi. Everybody loves Lucy. Yeah. Everybody loves Lucy. She's a good dog. I love you. All right, you can go lay down. You lay down. She's so cute. When I'm not at home, like I make my bed every day before I before I leave. And if I'm like, when I'm not here, she will actually like dig out the covers so that she can get in the bed, like when I'm not here. She's so funny. All right. Well, I guess if nobody else has anything, no questions from you, or you don't have anything for me, then I'll go ahead and just say goodnight. And which I'm fine with because I am like super tired. Like I've said several times, I subbed today, and I had choir practice, and now this, and so I'm worn out. And then I have to work at Keeneland tomorrow, but I don't have to leave the house until 10 o'clock. So at least I get to sleep in just a little bit. Unless I get called to sub. I make more money at Keeneland, but I will sub because I don't want to drive like 2 hours of driving in one day. It's just too much. So, all right. Well, everybody have a good night. I hope you enjoyed this live stream and my goals update. And I guess that's it. I will see you in the next one. Bye.